It's time for the question of the week. So with that, you know, in the great words of Joe Biden's speech, this country is doomed. Not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, European whites are going to be the minorities in America. And you guys are going to have to start to get with the Latino population because they're going to be more than you. Paraphrasing, a lot of it is exactly what he said, but my thought was, why he ain't say you're going to have to get with the African Americans? He jumped right over you and said you're going to have to get with the Latinos. And that the country is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because they're going to be minorities in 2040, the European whites. That's what he says. That's his word, not mine. So with that stated, we see what the plan was. And we see the outcome of that and why they're giving out all this money to give them an economic floor over us. But not only is that, we also understand that the Willie Lynch letter, if y'all know about the Willie Lynch letter, please go look it up. But the Willie Lynch letter also stated that, you know, they was going to be able to have us mentally enslaved for 1,000 years. But hey, it's been 600 years. But remember, that 1,000 years was based off the invasion and the attack and all the stuff that they did to our people. And in turn, we now are waking up from all that earlier than what the actual statement was. 1 second. Yeah, so if you don't know about the Willie Lynch letter, then you need to go read it. Because see, the Willie Lynch letter said we're just going to be stuck for 1,000 years. But we're not. We're waking up today. And we're waking up to our true identity of who we are. True reality of us being on our own land as the indigenous, endogenous Niggros of America, the true American NIs, declassified out of their heritage, culture, land, God, you name it. We're coming back into that fold. And because we're coming back into that fold, the system is crashing in on itself. And because it's crashing in on itself, this is why we're in the position we're in right now, where supremacy is getting all radical all over again. Because remember, it was supremacy that took the land, colonizing supremacy. And now that we're waking up and the shackles are falling off of our minds, thanks to you guys out there listening to your people that are doing social media news information and investigative research and together to be able to put the new information out there that's been hidden for so long. We're starting to break these chains on our mind. And because of that, it's really putting major holds inside of the colonized supremacy control over the Americas. And in that, you see the shackles breaking all the way around. And that's what we want. And that's what's happening. So now they're in a scramble to try to consolidate their power, consolidate their control over the minds of the people. Thus, misinformation, disinformation, hate speech, and all this other stuff that they're pushing, you know, trying to lock down freedom of speech by manipulating and controlling what you say and so on today, whereas if that's all infringement on the Constitution. And the Constitution 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5 already has been infringed upon majorly. So when you look at what Joe Biden said, they're just trying to prepare themselves for the inevitable. And what is that? The indigenous, endogenous Niggros of America waking back up to the truth of who they are, and that we at home on our own land and been duped on our own land, and that we at the bottom of our own resources when there are resources. And in that, we're coming back into terms with ourselves. So with that, I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But that is the question of the week. Peace, peace.